February 14th, only on Fox. How about this? All right, we need to talk a little bit more about the Lakers last night. I told you guys Snoop would be joining us very soon, but in just a couple minutes, Shannon, this is your opportunity to tell us a little bit more about the Lakers last night. What we saw from LeBron, his performance, and of course, Miss Trip Dub, who paid a visit.
Wait, I've already heard enough.
Yeah.
No.
I'm done.
You done? You need to know with this Trip Dub, Skip. Skip, I'm looking at the Lakers, and I see they're 17-6, which is, I think they're tied for the best record with the Clippers overall record in the NBA. But I don't think they're a better team, at least not yet. Now, I think they're different. I think they're deeper, but I don't think they're better. AD scoring is down 4 points per game. They lose a lot of rebounding and shot blocking with JaVale no longer being there and Dwight Howard not being there. But the defensive rating, they're better defensively, #1 as opposed to #3. But Skip, they were 20-3 last year at this time. And so Marc Gasol's got to give us something. I know you told us. You told me he was like an iceberg. He's very slow, and he got to go get from point A to point B in a hurry. But Skip, he's got to give us more than what he's given us. 2 points, 4 or 5 fouls on a nightly basis. That's not nearly good enough considering what JaVale and Dwight gave us on a nightly basis.
I'm sick and tired of hearing you talk. I would rather hear Snoop talk. Are we close?
Oh, you know what? You won. The only Lakers super fan, of course, our good friend Snoop is joining us. He just wanted to give us a little bit to wait for right now. Snoop, I know that you watched the Lakers last night. You saw what LeBron did. Are the Lakers even better than they were last year?
It's kind of hard to say that we're better than we were last year because last year we won a championship.
Right.
So I think we just in the stages as far as getting to know each other. You remember that song, Getting to Know You?
Yes.
Getting to know about you. We're trying to learn our team right now. Like he said, Gasol moving a little bit slow. We missing Dwight and JaVale with the height as far as the height and being able to make people, stay outside. But I just feel like we're going to be all right. LeBron don't never put a team together that don't come through. I feel like he got all of the right pieces. I like Schroeder. I like the way that Kuzma's playing, Caruso. I just like the way the team feel right now. And I feel like they're going to gel and get it right by the time, the All-Star game comes.
Kuzma played well. I love what I saw from Kuzma last night. I think Snoop, finally he realized that, you know what, I can impact the game in other ways than just scoring. I can rebound the ball. I can play defense. He had like 3 or 4 block shots. I can set good quality screens. I just don't need to just score the basketball to have an impact on the game. And what I've seen over the last 4 or 5 games, the Lakers can win with that.
Right. I think he's mentally sharp now. Before he was just, shooting and trying to figure it out. Now he's understanding the mental, capacity that you have to win a championship. And I feel like LeBron has taught them that as far as like playing your role. Even when LeBron won his first championship, he had to come in playing a role. You understand what I'm saying? So it's role playing. Then he learned how to become a leader.
Snoop, I'm a little surprised. You've dialed it down a little bit about the Lakers. I'm impressed. I was very impressed with the way they played in the second half last night, but I'm impressed that you're just going slow but sure. You think they have some growing to do?
I think last year was harder for us to win, if you really want to look at it, because, it was stacked against us last year. This year, I feel like the East got more to offer. You know what I'm saying? Last year was West heavy. This year, it's kind of like distributed evenly. And then you're watching Golden State. They doing their thing without Clay. You watching the Nets do their thing. You watching the Sixers. You just watching a couple of teams that's, that could possibly shake up something. But you can't sleep on the Heat. You can't sleep on the Bucks. You can't sleep on a few teams. But it's still early. And, it may be some trades. It may be some injuries. It may be some things that happen. That's why I'm patient. And I understand that we playing for this right here, man. It's all about getting this. You understand me?
Hey, nephew, I know who we not worried about. I know who we not worried about.
Well, it sounds like he's sleeping on that team. You mean that team that stays in the basement at Staples?
Yeah, them. The sleepers. I mean the Clippers.
What do you see in the Clippers? You don't think they're improved this year?
No, I'm not going to lie. They look damn good. Paul George looks amazing. I can't even front. They look amazing. But I'm waiting for the playoffs because they seem to have a great regular season all the time, but just can't seem to get over the hump. So it's all about playoffs and getting to the championship. It ain't about getting to the Western Conference Final. It's about them championship or bust, and that should be their gameplay. And I respect the players over there, the owners, the coaches, the whole nine. I'm a Laker fan diehard, but if you want to win a championship, it's got to be championship or bust right now for the Clippers, because if they don't get it now, they're not going to never get it.
So before we leave the Lakers behind, how much are you missing Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee in the middle of that, especially that defense?
Actually, I do miss them, Skip, because they did create a lot of havoc as far as making people readjust their thoughts and, come in with a different perspective. But I feel like it's a new dimension that you're dealing with now. Last year, you had to scheme to those guys. Now you got to scheme to this. So I like the way that we mixing and matching. And I wish JaVale and Dwight a lot of success, and Rondo for what they did for us last year, and Danny Green. We congratulate y'all. Thank y'all.
But we got Trez now. We got THT. THT a baller. Nephew, you see him getting that thing. Still, only reason he playing, he a clutch client. No, he clutch.
They said it.
Yes,
when they give you 3 letters, when they first start calling me DOG, when they put 3 letters on you, man, you special when they give you 3.
You like that then. Okay, that's what I like to hear.
I love that. I love him, man, because he's silent. He don't do no talking, no. Yeah, I ain't never seen him do an interview.
Nah, but he just a straight baller, straight energy.
Well, I want to know how much either of you guys love your new center who spells his name M-A-R-C, as in Gasol, Mark Gasol.
Hey, see, let me tell you about that, Skip. All that was to get Paul back. Bring in Mark later on in the season. Tell your brother, come on back. Let's double down. Gasol brothers, y'all get y'all championship together. Hello.
Hey, I think his brother, what is he, 40 now? I think his brother would be better than Mark would be at 36.
Yeah, Mark.
He's got the Mamba mentality. Remember, his brother played with Mamba. Mamba brought the best out of Paul.
Oh, did he?
Well, who gonna get the best out of his baby brother Mark? Because normally when somebody call you Mark, that's not a good thing.
He gonna be all right. He got him a ship. He know what it feel like to win one. He come through in the clutch. I think his threes and his D's gonna come together when we need it most. Right now, we just need him to fill out where he's supposed to be and bring more to the table, be more productive on the offensive end and the defensive end. I think we're gonna be all right with him.
Okay, so Snoop, if you guys do get through the watered-down West, which most people think you will, how much do you fear what's happening in Brooklyn right now?
No fear at all, because it's a team basketball game. At the end of the day, it's all about the team that gels the best. The team's got the best bench. The team's got the best coaching, and sometimes you got to have a little bit of luck in there as well. So I feel like we're going to be all right, and the matchup will break down to LeBron versus KD, or either LeBron versus Kyrie, or AD versus KD. That's great basketball at its highest level to see some of the top tier players going head up for that championship. Like once upon a time when we watched Golden State go up against, the Cleveland Cavaliers, that was some great basketball, championship basketball. So I look forward to a great championship from both sides, the East and the West.
If the Lakers and the Nets match up, you'd have to go back to find a matchup like this. You got to go back to the Lakers and Celtics when Kareem Magic Worthy was going against Bird, Parrish, and McHale.
Yep.
To have that kind of firepower, Skip, on both sides of the equation. When you got 4 All-Stars, basically 3-4 All-Stars on both teams. I don't know if we've ever seen it, and we might not see it again if we don't get that matchup
But the Nets would have more offensive firepower.
No question.
And the Lakers would clearly have more defensive firepower.
Yeah, we've never seen an offensive firepower like what Brooklyn got, Snoop.
Never.
The Brooklyn thing is they got them all on the court at the same time, see? And that's the problem. If I was a coach, I would come to somebody and say, egotistically, somebody got to sit down because we want to be better when that bench come in so we can break it down just a little bit. Like all of that 3 at the same time on the court, that's cool, but it's going to become a certain time where it's like, I want the ball. Well, I want the ball. I need the ball. Well, what's happening? That ain't happened yet. That's going to happen.
Well, that's where you got to take advantage of them, is because when they're benched, because they don't have any depth. They don't have offensive firepower. Since they lost Karis LeVert, they traded him. Dinwiddie is out. So they don't have the offensive firepower once one or two of those guys leave. But what they try to do is always keep at least one of them on the court at all times. Because at any given moment, any one of those guys can go get you 20, 30 in a quarter.
All right, well, as much as I'm enjoying this NBA conversation, Snoop, please do stick around. We got to talk about the Super Bowl. It's that time of year, and we need your prediction next.
Brady versus Mahomes.